does that. I'm in the middle of, doing my pregame, and he pushes record.
We've been pre-gaming for 45 minutes.
Well, yeah.
But we pre-gamed in the first half.
I do a stretch. I do like a la 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 la.
You do lunges?
No, he's talking about his belt.
Oh, yeah, I need to undo that. I'm like, oh, you fucking pie. Who brings up pie to the green room?
Well, you do after Thanksgiving. You have a bunch of pie left.
3 slices of pie for you,
Jeff
Sean.
is trying to one-up us. He's like, look at me. I've lost 180 pounds, and I'm going to make you guys gain it so I look better.
You guys haven't.
No, I just know I can't. We didn't have to eat it. I could have not brought it up. But Paul's like, go get your pies.
Did you say that, Paul?
It wasn't me. It was you.
I did not.
You had 3. You said, let's, what'd you say? Let's rip this band. No, what'd you say? Let's just jump right in. Go get that pie. You said that's what you said.
I thought we were going downstairs to go with the pie. I didn't realize he's bringing it up.
Whatever. Don't pin this on me.
We're not pinning on you. I'm just saying, we get the pie. We go downstairs, we get a plate, bring the whole pies up here, and then we fucking dive into it 10 times.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
It was good.
Good
I'm going to
pie.
have to jump on my trampoline until 8 in the morning to get rid of that calorie.
Wait, so that it just comes out your mouth?
Oh, all right. Well, that works too.
Huh.
It's called binge and purge, right?
Check us out on Dudes Like Us podcast, Dudes Like Us Woodcraft, the Instagram or Facebook.
So your bouncy thing is just for bulimia? Is that what's going on? You jump on it until the food you ate comes out of your mouth?
No, the trampoline is for your core strength.
All right, but I mean that's not what you were saying.
No, I was saying you got to burn calories. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
Insinuating I was going to burn calories. I would have to burn calories. The amount of jumping that I would have to do to burn the calories that I just ingested out there during the halftime time.
You'll be going till tomorrow morning.
Jesus, man. I mean, I tore it up because it was such good pie. The apple pie was good. The chocolate chip shit was good.
Why don't you maniac it? You're a maniac on the.
Let's go Chris Farley on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the chair and have the water pour on you and everything.
But on the
flash dance.
But on the bounce.
So
why
it's kind
can't
of bouncing.
What's the not bouncy thing? What's the damn thing called?
Trampoline.
Trampoline.
What the
You got to be
hell?
on the trampoline while you're maniacing it.
This is off. We haven't even started the second half bourbon, and this is
What?
it's December 3rd. It's the second half of the podcast. It's Dude Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I am Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Yes.
Yes, and we are
dudes like us.
We are dudes like us, and we're a little challenged because you know what? For as low proof as that 1910 Old Forester we had, it was very tasty.
Very tasty.
And
It
I
was.
got a little buzz.
We never rated it.
Yeah, we did.
We
No,
did.
we didn't.
We did not.
Oh my God!
No.
We're so dumb.
Yeah.
This is the podcast of incorrect
Well, we get
information.
so distracted. We're all ADHD and like, look, squirrel.
Yeah, true.
That's what it is.
It is true.
Yes.
All right, so
Well, that's why we need our producer here to keep us on track.
Yes.
by default,
But
they're
he's-
all 9.0s, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
default when you
Our
don't.
producer's hanging out with Tomb Raider right now.
Well,
Laura
Ooh.
Croft.
Well, no wonder he doesn't want to be here.
I wouldn't want to be either.
No shit. Yeah. Son, we're doing podcast tonight. Yeah. I'm
well,
hanging,
dudes like
I'm
us,
hanging,
I'm Sean.
I'm hanging out with a hottie.
We already did this.
We already did it.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did- we-
oh,
Are we gonna have to like?
oh my God.
Hold on. Are you sure?
Positive.
You serious?
What?
You're serious? You just want to say, I'm Sean over and over again.
I don't know. We're gonna have to replay that. I don't think I did. I don't
Yeah,
think we
we
did.
Do you not remember me saying, hi, Jeff?
Yes.
He
Oh,
goes,
there
I-
was a delay. Actually, I remember you. You were like really delayed.
It was literally 40 seconds ago, but that's
You were
okay.
Literally gonna have to
That's
delete
okay.
all this shit.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
No,
Shit,
it's
fuck
good
that
It
stuff.
shows we're human.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Paul.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
He interprets that as human.
Yeah. We're middle-aged guys that have short-term memory.
Drinking high-proof bourbon.
Always.
We haven't even drank it yet.
That always
I've
helps.
had a sip or two.
I haven't touched it yet. I've smelled it. I'm excited.
Is it going to make your body go numb
It
like
might.
the cowboy did?
It might. When my legs went to jelly.
Yes.
All right. So we have some topics like you promised in the second half.
Well, I know.
In the first half.
Well, I want to get into, before we lose track,
Yes.
Sean had an event happen to him today.
Ooh.
And I want him
did.
to discuss this because I think it's, for one thing, it's frightening that someone like us, could fall for something like this, and Sean almost did. But how sophisticated it was.
Yes. How dangerous these scams really are.
Right. To make it seem like it is real and makes you second guess yourself, even when you know this may not sound right. But it was so sophisticated it sounded like.
Everything is so real. Websites that you go to look so real. I mean, who knows if you're really going to Walmart?
Let me dial in a little narrative here. So I was working from home. I get a phone call, and it's a private number. Well, I typically answer those. I answer scam numbers, and I answer private numbers because with my job, people call me from those numbers.
Weird numbers.
Yeah, and the phone interprets it as that. So I answer them. And I had some guy on the other time, and you can tell he's ebonically speaking. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, he introduces himself. Hey, I'm calling from the some municipality of some sort. He was it wasn't a lieutenant. He was a deputy. He was a deputy, and he was calling to let me know that there's been some citations issued under my name because I failed to be present at your
court hearing.
I was summoned
jury
for
right?
jury
summons.
So I didn't show up to that, so I feel like, look, first of all, I didn't get a letter. Or what is that we signed for?
Summons.
Yeah, no.
Certified letter.
I didn't get look, I didn't sign any certified letter. I didn't get anything that says that I needed to do this. So, you guys go pound sand. I'm not jumping on that. And then they started like detailing extra information that I was like, all right. So they started emailing me. What's your email address? We're going to send this right now. And they started sending me stuff that seemed legit. They were sending me documents like I needed to be there. This judge was there, the specific judge, and you Google them, and they seemed up and right. They were like, hey, look, we're in the phone number they were calling from. I was like, look, well, first of all, I called them out. I was like, look, I am not gonna be. It's like you got to put yourself in my shoes. You're calling me from a private number. I'm not fucking telling you shit. I said it just like that. You can go fuck yourselves. And then they were like, look, I'll tell you what. We'll stay on the line. We'll transfer this over to, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call. And the phone call is legitimately from the McKinney Sheriff's Department.
Oh, shit.
All right. The phone number shows up, and it says the label right there. Bam. So I Google it really quick. I look at it. Well, that is officially the Sheriff's Department phone number. That's odd. Okay. So I talked to him for a while. They're like, yeah, do you get how serious is this now? It's like, this is not a state summons. This is a federal government summons that you were supposed to attend. Therefore, federal government rules apply, and there are penalties that's like, well, put yourself in my shoes. An hour ago, I was fine. I was an American citizen just hanging out, and now all of a sudden, I owe you tons of money for these citations that are because they're federal government. They wanted like $2,500. It was actually $5,000 per citation.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not paying that. I mean, what the fuck? How do you expect anyone to pay that? Where am I supposed to shit that money?
Right.
And they were like, we don't, whatever. That's what's happening. We can go ahead and qualify you for some hardships and put you on a different program. We'll require some payment. We'll get you set up through the direct deposit system. And
damn,
they were getting all elaborate. And I was like, look, I think you guys are full of shit. I don't believe what you're saying, and none of this is true. So they're all right. Look, they kept handing me off to people, and you hear in the background legitimate police things going on in the background.
Chatter.
Oh, you hear like
the radio noise.
Oh, you hear like, oh yeah, the squad number 2. They hear legitimate stuff going on in the background, and then I'm getting phone calls nonstop. Hey, well, you know what? We're different people every single time. There's a network of people that are all tied together.
They're zooming in on you.
Oh, dude, they were off the charts to the point where I actually got up from my desk at home because I work from home. I went and took a shower, and they were like, you got to keep your phone on. And I was like, yeah, this is sketchy as fuck. And I'm keeping my phone on while I take a shower. You can go fucking pound sand. So I fucking hung up on them. And but at the same time, I'm thinking, is this legit? Because they had information about me, and they were continuously sharing more and more. And I was like, this is some crazy stuff. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go and head down because they gave me an address to go to, which you look it up, and it's the official McKinney Sheriff's Office. And you go down there, and it's the Collin County Courthouse, and they say just go to the kiosk up there, the lady that's at there, and you pay her, and you're fine. You're good. You just pay it. She takes cash, just give it to her. and you'll pay the citation, and then once they find out that you're because they say I signed for that certification letter,
Right.
and they say if we can verify that the signatures don't match, then we'll just refund all that money.
Oh, so you're safe.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's not happening. But at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck, seems kind of real. So I get upstairs, take a shower, and then I get dressed, and I'm like, well, fuck, man, I've got like my job, So I'm like, well, I have something I had to do this afternoon, so I canceled that. And I was like, well, I need to take care of this. I need to make sure because I don't need. If this is true,
right,
it needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, sure.
Because this needs attention.
But they made it sound serious enough.
Oh, it was serious. You got a tag team of people that all seem legit, even though there's red flags popping up left and right.
Sure.
It was just the volume of people.
Yeah.
That was in communication with me.
When you said they were able to track you through your GPS phone.
Well, they said that, but I mean,
they said that, right?
They said that. I was like, yeah, that doesn't seem right either, and you're full of shit again. But yet there was just like, well, let's put you on hold, and they transfer me, and you can see it on the phone how it's changing different numbers, and it's just like it was just bizarre,
sophisticated.
It was bizarre. It was extremely sophisticated, and at the same time, it's all the same type of voice, different people, but the same type, and they weren't Asian. You could tell different dialects, and so anyways, I get out of the house. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna entertain this idea. I'm gonna go get the cash because I want to make sure that if something happens, I have the cash.
Right.
So on the way there, I was like, for a split second, I was like, fuck that. I'm not getting cash. I went straight to the police department. Because they had sent me some documents on the internet through my email, and I printed them up. I drove down to the Frisco Police Department.
Good for you.
I was like, this is what I got. A, B, C, and D, bam. And what the fuck's going on with this thing?
So they were like totally receptive?
Oh, they were just like, yeah, this happens sometimes. This could be legit. This may not be legit. I don't know. Let's just dive into this. So the lady was nice. Her name was Ricci or something like that. From the shout out to the Frisco Police Department.
And you just walked right up to the counter and said, "Hey, man, I have a question."
Had the manager, the shift, whoever's in charge there. You go walk in and to the right. There's hey, she was like, I wish more people that have gone through these experiences approached us rather than to pay these yahoos, because this is what they do. So they recorded all the information that they had and the email address that they came from, and they're going after them. I mean, they said, like, well, we're going to do our own investigation on our side. But at the same time, I'm thinking, all right, well, these yahoos wanted me to pull out, let's just say, I did go to the bank. I did pull the money out. I did drive down to the sheriff's department, and they were like, well, show up with the cash and just pay at the desk. Just pay. And then we'll be done with this whole thing. So, what is their game plan? What is the end game for them? Are they going to, like, when I get there, are they going to mug me?
Well, and they said stay on the phone with them while you're going over there.
Yeah, that was the big red flag to me.
Right.
Total creepy.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, that's when I kind of knew it, but at the same time, I was like, I just need to be sure.
Yeah, and they're like, what are you driving? Are you 2 minutes out?
No,
1
they
minute
didn't
out?
say anything like that.
And we'll meet you in the parking lot.
They didn't
the
say that. I mean, we didn't get that far, but it's just I felt better after I got to the police station.
Oh,
and
for
I was
sure.
just like, look, I'm in custody right now, so if something's happening, then fucking just take me right now.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm here.
Yeah, they would have been able to look to see if there was anything out there with your name on it.
Like a warrant or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they were insinuating that there's a difference between state and federal. They
There
were
is.
like,
This is coming from McKinney.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It wasn't coming from,
Right.
It's Collin County.
Dude,
it's the same
Merrick
county.
Garland.
How many... Oh, scary.
But my point is, look,
terrified.
guys, I am one to be skeptical. You guys know I don't believe shit from anybody. And the fact that it rattled me only personifies it. It's like, what about my dad?
That's what I mean.
What about older folks out there?
Elderly people?
Because look, I'm not the sharpest knife in the whatever. I mean, I don't consider myself stupid, but at the same time, I was gullible enough to at least entertain the idea that I needed to prepare to pay for this penalty.
You were headed to the bank. You were
headed
to the bank.
Well,
you may not would have given them the money, but you were.
I was. I don't think I was ever going to go to the bank. My intention was really to go to the police department the whole time.
Right.
But at the same time, I was thinking, should I go to the bank just to get the money out, just in case?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's this shit's going on, and these guys need to be euthanized.
No shit, man.
And they didn't have an
scary.
Indian dialect. They it's just
Straight Midwest American.
Yeah, they weren't one of these Middle Eastern. You know, you get these Bangladesh or whatever.
India is big on the phone scam. It's usually
these
the computer
guys,
ones.
These guys were a bunch of black folk, and you could tell the way they sound. You know, most black folks, they have a dialect. I don't know what the deal is, how it is, but you know, and maybe I'm racist for saying that. Fuck off is the short answer on that. But the reality of it is it's true. You know, you could tell most of the time when a black person talks, it isn't the vocabulary.
Well, and they can tell when a white person is talking. I mean,
so again, fuck off.
And
that could be the bourbon I had on the first half.
But
I don't care.
What's terrifying, like you said, there's so many old people that fall for that shit.
And they lose hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Use lots of money. Like even my father-in-law got wrapped up in one where they called and they acted like they were his son. And they had been in a wreck. Oh, yeah, we don't hold that thought.
Yeah.
So here he gets this phone call of his son that's frantic on the phone, like crying and hardly can talk normally, right? So he's like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? He goes, I got into a wreck and I hit it and she's pregnant and I don't know if blah, blah, blah. And they're telling me that if I don't, and if I don't give them money right now, they're gonna do this and do that and all this kind of shit like that, right? Whatever they said, it was something to that effect. It rattled him so bad that he called me and he's like, I need to go get money and they're telling me I don't want to pay them. If I'm going to pay them, I'm going to, he had kind of like what you were talking about, Sean. He was working through the logistics of how he could do this. I said, whoa, slow down, because he was hysterical. You know what I mean? Like in a man way, right? Like an older man way. And I was like, time out. What did they tell you? And they gave me the name of a law firm. It was a law firm that was going to sue, but they'll settle it right now.
Oh, right.
If you don't, blah, blah, blah. And I said, give me that name. And it was a real name of a lawyer in Dallas or in Austin. And so I called it. I called the number and I got their answering service. And I said, your name is being thrown around as somebody who would be, demanding money because of the blah, 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 blah. Please, it was on a weekend. Please call me back. And they did. I got to give them credit. They called me back and they said, it's a scam. Don't do it. And, and I was like, oh, that's what I thought. Thank you very much. So I told him that. I said, scam. And he's like, well, I can't get a hold of my son. I don't know where he is. And he wasn't going to be reassured until he had him on the phone. And so I started working the phones. Like, where could he be? Right. And he's always an elusive kid anyway, right? So I called his brother, right? And I said, do you have any idea where he is? He goes, sitting right next to me. I go, what? And he's like, put him on the phone. He was like, and I was like, okay, we found him. It's all a scam.
Right.
And he was distraught. I mean, he thought his son was hurt, in a wreck, gonna be sued.
So this is AI generated voice?
No, it was hit. It was like
some person
acting. When you start talking like that, you can't tell us your son. They just like if your son's Bob. This is Bob, and I was driving, and they said the car, like maybe the Celica. The Celica's totaled, and there's blah blah. I mean, when you say enough things, to make somebody go, oh shit, it is my. I don't know, it's not my son, and then they immediately kind of hung up. I got to call you back, and then they make them think and worry and Dude.
Well, I know
he was about to go get the money.
Yeah, I know a buddy of mine, John. He was my roommate. Went to school with him. This past weekend, got a text from a girl that we went to high school with. I don't think they really knew each other, hung out, but he got a text saying, "Hey, John, I need to borrow $200."
From her.
For her, yeah, to John.
Right.
Via text. And this was late at night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And she's like, I need $200 right now. Can you Venmo it to me? I'll pay you back double tomorrow morning. Now, right there's a red flag. I'm like, well, why do you need $200 now? And you can pay me $400 in 8 hours.
Right. What happens overnight?
Right.
Yeah.
So they went back and forth. He was texting her, asking all kinds of questions. Send me a boob shot for your money and stuff like this, and just kind of screwing with her. And she kept coming back saying, I need this.
Did she share a boob shot?
No, she didn't.
Oh,
and
damn it.
She FaceTimed him, so he talked to her on FaceTime,
and he recognized her.
Yeah, so it was her. And he's like, something's still screwy. He didn't send her the money. And the next morning, she reached out again. Hey, John, are you still there? And just after that, he went out to her Facebook page, and her husband posted, let me read it, because it's fucked up.
Oh, man.
Her husband, let me see if I can find it. It was basically, she got hacked, and it was all AI that did it.
Damn.
He says, hey, I wanted to let everyone know that Phyllis has been hacked, both Messenger and Facebook. Do not reply. There was a car ad out there that supposedly was put up by her selling a car for $4,000 and, wanting cash and stuff like that. Do not reply. The car showing for sale is not us, and the video call is not her. It is AI.
Damn. Unbelievable.
So on normal people, they are creating
AI.
video FaceTime. So it's not just voice anymore. You could get a call from your son that looks like him, sounds like him, and you would never know.
And you're responding to them?
Yes.
They're answering your questions. They're talking to you.
Yes.
Because it's AI. AI can do that.
Yes.
You know the only way to get around this? Into the future, you have to share a secret word with your family that you do in person. And you say,
what's our secret word?
What? Yeah, give me the code word for me to know it's you.
Onomatopoeia.
Shit, that was the one I was going to use. Fuck.
Damn it.
Why do you do this?
I know.
And I'm serious. I was actually thinking that while you were saying that. I'm going to pull my family together and I'm going to give them the code word.
Right.
That says, it is not me. If I don't say this, if you don't ask me and I don't tell you.
What is our code word?
Then it's not real.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. The video call. And she's just some lady that we went to high school with. Probably got her enough pictures offline or online.
Right.
Pasted something together that the computer to put together.
That is terrifying.
And it was probably some other lady
Peeling.
or person on the other end that was, talking, but it would overmasked her image. It's fucked up, man.
Dude.
How do you trust this shit anymore?
You can't.
No, you can't. In fact, that's what Elon Musk shared. He said one of the biggest problems we're going to be having in the next this decade coming up is AI.
Yeah.
Period. He's like, you're not going to know what's right, wrong, you don't know. And I think having that code word is pretty good idea.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
doing.
may adopt that
I
as
just
well.
decided that when you said, when you can fake doing an AI FaceTime conversation with a person you know.
Yep.
No way. No way. That's terrifying. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That just happened this past weekend. Needed
There's
that $200.
There's so many different scams. I mean, Dawson got pulled into one where an old lady, one of those, hey, how are you? Oh, who is this? And he just went back and forth. And she claimed it was an old lady that was lonely, and she would pay him just to talk to him because she's so lonely. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And she goes, I will. Here's a check. You can deposit it. And he did. And he's like, Dad, this lady is saying that she's lonely, and I just deposited the check. I said, son, here's how the scam works. She's going to tell you she needs, you know what? I know I gave you 1,000, but you know what? I really can only give you 700. Can you give me 300 back?
Right. In the meantime, her check bounces.
So then she takes 300 out of your account. You never got the 1,000 to begin with.
Right.
So, I mean, dude, question everything. If it sounds ridiculous, it is. Anyway. All right. Well, there you go. That's scams of the week.
Well, it's
terrifying.
Well, it is, and they're getting so sophisticated with AI and just the amount of information that's out there. They can scrape together. Like they had enough information on Sean to make him question that it was possible.
Yeah. Even though those red flags were completely there, I was still jaded. I was still blinded, and just in the way they were talking to me, it was kind of like, look, dude, we need to take care of this. I mean, it's just like, it was so believable, and it wasn't just any one individual. It was a multitude of people. It was just honestly, there was like 6 different people I talked to within 30 minutes. And they kept passing me off to another one and being, hey, look, we'll put you on hold. Hey, look, who are you on hold for? And who's this? And they were like, oh, this is my name. And they're, oh, well, yeah, we need to, you need to be talking to this person, and we'll continue that.
I wonder if you would have said a different name, what they would have done. Now, who am I talking to again? If you would have said, yeah, this is Bill McMurray.
This is Joseph DeLeon Guerrero.
Ooh, good name. You know what doesn't help in your situation is you have like 8 warrants anyway. So you're already on edge waiting for that phone call.
God,
you know what I mean?
You know what? There was a time where I did have a speeding ticket that kind of was out there, and I never was sure. I was like, man, I don't know. I used to drink a lot, smoke a lot, and was that speeding ticket taken care of? That's back in the late 80s, early 90s, you know?
Mm-mm. It was, and the McKinney Sheriff's Office is going to call you.
It's turned into a federal crime.
It's serious. Yeah, we're talking Rikers.
Yeah, you owe $40, so you need to come in and pay that.
Right.
You know that Dawson couldn't get his diploma unless he paid his $105 parking ticket? Unbelievable.
Well, motherfucker needs to park right.
Yes. Well, you know what?
Those colleges are hardcore about parking.
You want to hear something fucking
it's a
crazy?
Money machine.
When Shelley became a teacher 5 years ago, she had to provide a transcript from A&M, and they wouldn't give it to her. It was on hold, and we were like, "What the fuck?" Parking ticket from 1992.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
Were there penalties involved?
And we were like, "How do you even know?" No penalties. No penalties. The original amount. It was like $92, but it was like, how do you have any evidence that it was her? I mean, you could just put it on the record. They sent a document that had not a picture or anything, but it said her car and her license plate, and I was like, fuck me. And they were not going to release her transcript.
Well, technology goes a long way.
Is that not crazy?
That was before computer internet.
It was literally, 25 years? How many years ago?
92? That was 32 years ago.
Over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So the fact that this technology is out there and the AI and
it was on microfiche.
They've got the other thing that scares me, and there've been several people that brought this up regarding these drones that will attack people, you know, and drop bombs on them, like in Ukraine, and they've got these that have a little 5 kilogram amount of C4, very small amount, and it will facial recognize somebody. Or anybody,
face plant.
And it has just enough
charge
to kill you.
To kill him.
It'll attach it to your face and boom, it explodes. Well, you know, the FBI is investigating mysterious drones. They're filling the night sky in New Jersey. That basically there are a bunch of people complaining about it. Those large drones have been hovering in formation. That's kind of like over northern New Jersey. Officials said Monday. Leading to unnerved residents wondering what's behind these bright, unidentified flying objects. But you guys had mentioned something about them flying over nefariously over like bases.
Military
in Mar-a-Lago.
sites. Yeah, military sites. And today they said there are unknown. You know, they don't know who's flying them, but flew over Trump's golf course. So now they had to close airspace and. They're getting serious, right? I mean, you have to, because these drones, like you said, can kill you.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that may be something, but this New York one or wherever that was at, this just could be some company testing, you know, the drone shows, or they could be testing drone delivery, or it could just be a group of guys who have drones
who are just fucking around,
or out there, you know, doing their thing.
Dude,
now
it's not
the base thing. It could still be just some kid going, I want to go see what's on that base.
Right. Or is it China?
It could be. You don't know.
So,
that's they still need to investigate
some of the things
to find
about
out,
the technology. This was on the guy from the Joe Rogan show. I forget what the gentleman's name is, but he was talking about the technology from China versus the United States. The United States has not been able to step forward on our drone program because we're handcuffed. Because basically anything that our drones could do, the FAA kind of like throttles them back. Say, look,
not the military,
correct,
but civilian.
If you have a drone that's not registered correctly, then they could be tagged. You know, so they like any drone that takes off. there's some continuity. Satellites, there's Wi-Fi. You got to be able to control it, right?
Sure.
So how are you controlling that drone? You're controlling it.
Fishing line.
You control it by using
Like kite.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
like
it's satellite feed. You're not controlling it through Wi-Fi. You're not controlling it through Bluetooth. You're controlling it through a satellite feed. You're controlling it through cell towers. You're controlling it through a network, essentially. So because it's controlled by a network, it's got parameters. So you're only allowed to go so high. You're not allowed to go in certain areas. And that's not something that you control. So you can fly that drone and say, you know what, I want to go right into the middle of that airport, but it's got safeguards set up. It knows. It's got Google Maps built in. So it's like
geofencing.
Yeah, so it's like runs into that geofence and bam, it can no longer go in there. Well, they are removing those safeguards, and that's how they're able to get through there. I don't know how that works, but my point by bringing that up is that the technology in the United States is so
hampered.
It's less superior.
Well, I kind of agree that there needs to be a no-fly zone. I think airports are
of course.
I think that's a good thing to have. And also, I think there needs to be rules, and there are, where if I'm out in my backyard nude sunbathing, I don't want my neighbor hovering his thing over my yard.
He doesn't want to do that either.
Well, there's a lot of people that do that, though.
Yeah.
And that they get spied on. I'm not saying I do that, but there's a lot of people who spy on their neighbors.
Interesting.
No, that's true. We had a neighbor, we had a guy 2 streets down from us. He had his drone. He would fly it all over people's house all the time.
Yeah. And
people shoot at him. That gets them in trouble, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
You can't discharge your weapon in a subdivision. Like even if you're shooting at a drone, you can't, right?
I got my little air guns down there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy because that's true. Because there were guys that thought they were law-abiding individuals. A testimony to their neighborhood influence. Just being a good Samaritan, and all of a sudden you got this drone that shows up in their backyard. They don't know what the hell that thing's for, and it turned out to be a Walmart delivery thing. But the guy takes his gun out and says, "This thing was coming right at me, so I shot it." And
right.
he gets taken in jail.
Yeah, I mean we can't be discharging. I mean that bullet goes up, it falls down somewhere.
Have you seen the new Amazon drones? These things are huge.
Dude, that's terrifying.
There's video on there of them testing this new Amazon drone, and it gets about, it's kind of ridiculous. It gets maybe 15 feet from the ground,
and then
it just drops a box.
No, it's got to lower down in a basket or something.
No, it just dropped a box, and then as it took off, the wind pushed the box against a fence, and I was like,
that's not going to work.
You're only going to be able to deliver very few types of things if this is how you're actually going to deliver this.
Right? Is this a video of it?
So we had similarly. So last week, my daughter was at home, and she called her boyfriend up, and she was like, "Hey, I got a little stomach ache. I use the Pepto-Bismol." He orders through Walmart a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. And I was in my office, and I would hear this drone. I was like, what the fuck, man? What is going on? That is the loudest drone ever.
At your house?
At my house. It goes to the backyard, and it drops it 2 feet from the fire pit we have back out there.
Right.
Just drops it off.
Like out of the sky, just a box.
Yeah, just
blam.
like a little tether comes down.
line.
Okay, you said a tether comes down.
Well, that's the Walmart one. The Amazon one I saw, they just dropped it.
What are these
This isn't what I saw.
like?
It's not?
No, this isn't the video. It was real short.
That's insane.
It was a short little.
I'm with
thing.
you. I mean that eliminates lots of things that you can't drop from 15 feet.
That one there, the one with the little. Yeah, this. Look at that. You see that?
Fuck? I don't think it's supposed to drop it like that.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a human. Oh my god! It's a drone the size of a pterodactyl. No, but seriously, the FAA is giving
That's
the green
retarded.
light. I mean, they're doing some
And then it
tests
slid against the
in
fence
Arizona,
because of the wind from the props?
That's what it looks like.
Oh, that's
Probably
just not
already
practical.
flying around our neighborhood. I mean, this is.
Yeah, you can turn this Yahoo
Yeah,
off.
that was the idea, the concept. Look, I think it's a cool tool to have for delivering stuff. I don't care at the end of the day. I was kind of thinking it's stupid, but
There are some old people that need their medicines.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem efficient because it was funny because Madeline came to me and we were talking about how her stomach was upset. She's like, well, Leighton just texted me. They said the Pepto-Bismol will be here in less than a minute. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, you hear this fucking drone come in and drops it. I'm like, what the ever-loving fuck is going on?
Then you hear this.
Those things are fast too, because I've seen a few in this neighborhood, and they'll drop their thing down, and then they'll retract their string, and then they go up, and they're just like, they're fast.
Supersonic.
Yeah,
Dude, that's just
supersonic.
Supersonic.
terrible.
Supersonic.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, we're going to have flying cars in the next 30 years. Now you can have drones and flying cars.
I don't think so.
Shit flying everywhere.
I don't
mean,
think we're going to have flying cars.
Uber is coming up with a flying car
Yeah,
concept.
I don't think it's going to make it. Because for two reasons. The number one, it's just not efficient. I think the amount of power it's going to take. You're never going to get a battery-powered, propelled machine to be able to get up like that. The battery's going to be too heavy.
Don't underestimate the advances in technology, especially battery technology.
Not in the next 10, 20, 30 years,
50.
man. I just
Let's
don't.
go-
It's got to
50.
have a different power source than what's going on. If it's a regular engine, I could see that, but at the same time, I don't think that's realistic.
Well, I've seen them starting to build cars out of these big drone type things
Yeah, those seem so sketchy.
where they have like
The
12
quad.
Yeah, they're just. I'm just like, God, if you like run into that, or it just
Those
looks
are the
very
things
dangerous.
that you would find in the back of a comic book growing up. You're like, oh, I totally want that hovercraft.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. And when you think of Back to the Future, right? Remember when they had lanes like in the air? I mean, they told how now they
It's
can
like
have
the Jetson.
Right.
It's like Star Wars.
Well, now they have
Coruscant.
they have drones that sit there and hover stationary in place. So you totally could have drones that are your streetlights, or like your boundaries of the lanes and your streetlights in the air. They totally could pull that.
We will never have to worry about that in our
50
lifetime.
years.
We'll be dead.
We'll be dead.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're going to live for 170 years when they.
I read something
Break
that
open
they
the
did a
code.
study, and they said the oldest. I don't know how they did this. It has to do with because your cell can only divide so many times in a lifetime. They said if every cell in your body divides to its max, you can get to like 119 or something like that,
Well, there are people
or
that actually get-
121. It was an age like no, a human cannot live past this age.
Again, don't underestimate technology.
Well, this is biology, not technology.
I mean, but biology can be impacted
Is that like
artificially
the
by
concept
technology.
of you can only fold a piece of paper so many times?
It had, I don't know. It has your
No
cell.
matter how
can
big that piece of paper is.
Your cell can only split so many times.
Well-
They said, I don't know what the number was, 50 times or whatever it was.
I mean, already Elon is experimenting with technology infused in humans, right? He's putting chips in people's
It's like
brains.
a
how many
length in there.
how many ex-wives does Elon
I'm
have?
just saying, you guys would be amazed at what technology can do, even in the human body when you mingle that kind of shit. I have no idea how that would work, but I'm just saying.
Maybe in a very, very long time.
Yes,
but,
we're talking 100 years.
Nah, probably more than that, where you can affect biology. It also has to be a quality of life as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't. First off, I wouldn't want it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live that long.
I mean, hold on. Let's say you were at 100. You were right now 100 years old at the current health that you are.
I don't know, because
Right?
my family would probably be dead.
Well, no, they would.
All your kids would be dead.
No. I'm saying if everybody lived like that. Let's say you're 120 years old, but
I don't think-
that you look like and feel like you do right now.
I think that gets problematic population-wise.
Oh, totally does.
When everyone starts living over 100 years old.
Yeah, where are you
You
going to
need to have turnover,
absolutely? Where are you going to put them? Where are you going to feed them?
as rude as that
How
sounds.
are you going to feed them?
There's
Yeah.
already a population decline.
I know.
I know Elon Musk is big on that.
It's not good. Ours is.
What, to contribute to the population
They
decline?
said it's declining rapidly.
Well, that's
In the
because of all
U.S.,
the-
in the U.S., it's bad.
I saw a video growing up in Colorado, and it was like, second, third grade, something like that. And they showed a population of fleas in a controlled environment, and it was just insects, just in there. And they were like, "Hey, look, we're going to give these fleas everything they need to succeed in life. We're going to give them food, room, everything they need. And they ended up dying. They just said they kind of like bred me. It kind of that stuck in my mind that no matter what, that our population will be dead. Our population will go. I think it's just Mother Nature. I don't know what the deal is. Could be excrement poisoning. I don't know.
You think the human race is going to go extinct?
I do. I think
And
we'll evolve
not
into something
externally,
else.
not externally affected, not like a super volcano
Oh,
or an
That could,
asteroid.
that could happen at any time. You
Yeah,
know?
I think through the natural process of who we are, our species, I think that we're gonna just pass on. Look, we've already evolved. I mean, we evolved from. I mean, let's look a couple hundred years ago. I mean, think about the 1500s, 1600s, and how you have you go back over to the Europe and you see these knights armor, for example. You know, they're all shorter. They died younger, and they were a lot smaller.
Right.
You know, now we're bigger and we live longer. And of course, a lot of medicine and and health and education. Of course, that helps out.
Well,
But
just sanitary as well.
the whole
that-
lifestyles that adds to it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that our bodies are when you are used to dying, that's it's just a process. I think that there's another process waiting for us, and I think it's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good at all. I think we're doomed.
Wow.
I do, man.
Wow. That's
Well, I think
That's great,
I
John.
think that's centuries and centuries and centuries, maybe in a million years from now, kind of a thing.
it's a long time.
I think it's going to be sooner than
Because
that.
the human body
Yeah.
is the human body itself is evolving in a positive direction, not in a negative direction.
I don't
right?
think so.
I mean, we're more apt to fight off. Our immune systems are getting stronger.
Yeah, but
I mean,
this is what, but there's outside influences that are affecting our development and moving forward through generation, because we're poisoning ourselves, we're poisoning our kids are poisoning their kids, and it all has to do with the diet. This all goes into with the whole program with RFK, the same fucking tune that I've been banging since we started this podcast
about Europe eliminating
just-
things, and we don't.
Yeah, it's just that we're poisoning ourselves because of money, because there are people in the government that are making money to allow these companies to make a food product to feed us so that save money. At
Right.
the end of the day, it's all about money, and these piece of shit motherfuckers, they need to be shot.
Right.
I mean, really, because it's unhealthy. Look, we're all unhealthy
Yeah.
somewhat. Jeff, you're getting better, way, way better. But at the end of the day, we're still all unhealthy. We're eating shit food, sodas,
Right.
bourbons,
Pie.
pie.
Pie. It's really
Fantastic pie too.
It's
by
really
the way.
the damn pie that's killing all
Yeah,
of us.
but you know what I'm saying. And it's so part of me, not part of me, all of me is excited about RFK coming in here and bouncing the fuck out of the get rid of the CDC or just sort of stripping them down, raping them, and finding out who's in charge of what. And when you got Joe Biden who's making agreements with the WHO, the World Health Organization, saying that the next pandemic that comes by, that we are going to be submissive to the World Health Organization's decree.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Fuck you.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah. But I am, with all these, I know we've talked about all these picks and all these reformers and all these people that want to go into all these different agencies, and they all have a promise that they're going to gut it and root out the wokeness. And dude, I really feel like we're in an unprecedented moment in history
We really are.
for our government where real change can happen. Now,
do.
is it
with
going to?
Vivek and Elon with the Doge program, which we talked about last
Right.
podcast?
And we
but-
have a president that's committed to making it happen, and it sounds like the Congress is going to kind of go along with it, although I don't trust any of those motherfuckers.
yeah, but that's another thing. People are starting to wake up a little bit. They're
Yeah.
recognizing some of these people, and like you mentioned, we're getting the View is getting a bunch of backlash, and all these MSNBC stock is drumming. Somebody said that less than 65,000 people were
30
watching it.
they
in
had
prime time?
36,000.
They had
you said.
36,000 viewers in their young segment, 18 to 24, in prime time. I mean,
Yeah.
those are staggering numbers. Bad.
Yeah.
Staggeringly bad.
That's not even 1,000 per state.
I mean, there are people that have more for their podcast and for views and like, I mean, that's nothing.
And if you listen to these anchors, they still think that they are the shit.
I know.
Like Joy Reid.
Oh, you should have seen her latest rant. If you can bring it up, it's a must watch. It's so bad.
Is she? Well, she goes on these rants. She's a racist for one thing.
Oh, total racist.
And she is not a fan of. Is that the new one right there? That's 5 days ago.
Yeah, that's it.
That's that it. Sends a message to Republicans.
Yes. Let's just play this. It's disgusting.
The consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay. But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you. And for God's sakes, stop whining.
She's
It's
such a piece of shit.
Our Thanksgiving. Our choice.
She's so awful, just so hateful, and
she's very condescending,
spiteful, and she just doesn't get it. No one's
the Joy Reid, a regular critic on President.
Oh, that went away.
Yeah, she's
unbelievable.
She's been she's getting worse.
Yeah, well, she's a loser, and she knows it.
Well, no one's watching her anymore, and I'm surprised she still has a job.
I'm amazed.
I am surprised she still has a job.
I am amazed.
Because if there was let's say a white guy who said some of the things that she has, they'd be gone.
Oh, yeah.
She has called.
She's calling us whiners. Did you see that?
Oh, I know.
Talk about whining the whole time.
Just the look on her face was just like, oh, my God.
It's so bad.
She's unbearable.
Even Rachel
bad.
Maddow is... I would love to see... Man, look, here's the thing. I used to like Rachel Maddow. I know, right?
When she was a blonde high schooler?
15, 20 years, 18 years ago.
Really? I never liked her.
I liked her. I thought she was well spoke, but you got to imagine back then it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah,
back
hate,
then
the hate wasn't there.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, she was antagonistic and spoke her mind. But the fact is, it wasn't as a result of hate. It wasn't a result of bullshit, propaganda, and all this lies and deceit. Back then it was different. Now I group her up with the Morning Joe. And they're just a bunch of ding-dongs, too. Cup of Joe, Morning Joe, with her, what is the wife's name?
Mika
and Joe.
Mika Brzezinski.
Yeah.
They're
married.
What's sad is they used to be friends with Trump before he ran for office.
Well, they went down to Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but I'm talking
as
about...
As they say, kiss the ring.
So I don't know.
They're getting torn up for that, too.
They are, and it's kind of seen as...
Oh, they're just breaking bread, trying to
Well, they are. They kind of see the writing on the wall, right? Maybe
they want to be relevant. They want people to watch their show.
We need to stay relevant, and we're going to lose some folks, but we may gain some folks at the same time.
Because
look at Fox.
Because people will respect that. They actually, like the rational people, the ones that are the non-haters, will respect the fact that they went down to hear to talk.
Well, you can't be afraid of the vast minority, the very small group of people that are the loudest,
right?
Those vocal. So it seems like there's a lot of them out there,
right?
But they're really not. They're just the loudest, and they bitch the most, and the loudest, and they threaten the most. And those are the ones who are violent.
Yeah, Whoopi and The View. I mean, that is a disgusting show.
It's disgusting.
And we talk about this like a CPAP machine. It's just it's on every damn podcast, but it's like. But it's there every week.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's difficult when you got Whoopi just saying ugliness, and Sonny is always like for the last couple of weeks, every other a show she's having to apologize.
Oh, I know.
She's having
it's
to do
great.
a legal disclaimer.
Yes, I was wrong or whatever.
Yeah, but they're mocking it as they say it.
I know.
And Whoopi's like chiming in, and and we the opinions expressed on this show, may not be. Yeah, but it's true. In the background, they're like yapping, and they're just so bitter that she has to say it.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi.
Look at her face.
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying
Look at
in a
her
statement to ABC News that this false
She's hating
smear
this.
following
Oh,
a
she's
3-year
so bitter.
criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
Look how bitter.
We'll be right back.
They're so angry that their legal team made them say this.
I know.
Well, because they're full of shit. It's propaganda, and that's just the animal that they are.
And this country just sees the.
You know who
They see it.
there is a woman on that show, the Hispanic woman.
Oh, yes.
She is growing even worse than Whoopi.
She's
in
supposed to
all of
be
them.
the conservative on the show.
She is the huge piece of shit.
What's her name? Which one is that? I don't watch the show. All I ever see is clips. Right.
Well, she's supposedly the conservative.
Oh, then
one.
you're. I would recognize her name. It's.
Yeah, her right there.
Ana Navarro.
Ana Navarro.
Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking of. She's currently on The View.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's on there.
Okay.
So she's a piece of work. I mean, she's such a hater. I mean,
I think she was the one that she used to be conservative. I think that's the one. There used to be one on there that was conservative, but when you listen to her, you're like, yeah, you're not.
It's going to be really interesting if they start chopping. I mean, obviously they're going to start with MSNBC, right? They're going to start getting rid of those anchors that are making shit tons of money that defied. Do you remember when they were going to hire this RNC chair or the RNC head?
Rona,
Yeah.
whatever her name was. Yeah.
Yes. And they has a massive
Oh,
mutiny.
they did. Yes.
And so, can you imagine being the leadership? I mean, these guys have an ego, right? The people who run these fucking huge production
Right.
companies, and their entire team mutinied and said, "We're not going to have a dissenting view on this."
I'd be like, there's 100 guys right out door that I can
Fuck.
hire to replace your ass.
Fuck yeah!
You're not the only people who know how to do this.
And they caved.
I know.
They caved to anchors that are producing the lowest ratings of any other channel.
Yeah, I would have been like, if you
Dude.
want to leave, you're breach of
Dude.
contract. We don't know you anything.
Absolutely.
Or you could just suck it up and be a big boy or big girl.
It's really encouraging because then you see Bezos was saying what he was saying about the Washington Post, and then the LA Times, they fired their entire editorial board. I think people who are in positions of influence in terms of the message that they're crafting and the audience that they're going to cater to, they're starting to get it.
I hope so.
And I think the combination of all this shit that we've been talking about with the Trump's picks and all this reform, we could see a very, very interesting next 4 years.
Did you see
Yep.
the?
looking forward to it.
There's supposedly some new controversies around Pete Hegseth. Some other stuff controversies have popped up here today or yesterday.
He's supposed to be a Department of Defense. I mean, his
Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense.
I think it was in his. I read a little bit of it. I don't know if it's true or not. That they're now saying that the charities he ran, that he either stole from or completely mismanaged the funds financially, irresponsibly, and he's a drunk who would always get drunk at these charity events.
No. Well, you know what? That's a reflection of his true self and true character, and it's
hold on.
and it's not
Hold
like a
on.
bullshit Dave Kavanaugh or Kevin. What's
Those are very disturbing.
Right.
He, obviously has a chance to defend himself here, but some of this stuff is going to be difficult. Time will tell. I like Pete. I've known him for a very, very long time.
Well, these allegations that have come up just in the last 12 to 14 hours are a surprise to all of us. And so, yes, he does need to address those because this was not something of which we were aware, nor was President Trump aware of them.
I'm not saying these allegations
I like
are
him a
true.
lot.
I'm saying
Senator
that
John
it's been my
Kennedy?
experience that there are two sides to every story. And I discount substantially allegations from anonymous sources. If the folks who are making the allegations feel strongly about them, they should come forward and in front of God and country say, this is what I believe and here's why I believe it. And that's why we have confirmation proceedings, and everybody will have a chance to have their day in court.
I love a good redemption story, and I hope that's what Pete has. I hope that for him and for his family and for the country. And if that's the case, I'm more than happy to not just vote for him, but do everything I can to help get him across.
What are the allegations?
Right now,
I don't even know what they are.
Allegations against Pete Hegseth.
Well, as long as they're just allegations, and again that they remain in the past. Well, he has to convince me of that, but I'm open to being convinced.
So you said mismanagement of some charities,
Well, that's what I read.
And drunken behavior.
Right. It says,
Interesting. Oh, here it is. A magazine cited what it calls a detailed 7-page whistleblower report compiled by multiple former CVA employees, stating that at one point Hegseth had to be restrained while drunk from joining the dancers on the stage of a Louisiana strip. Wait a second. We've all done that. At a strip club? Come on.
How long ago was that?
It doesn't say. The report says he was married at the time, and other members of his management sexually pursued the organization's female staffers, the magazine said. Oh, so this is like a Me Too thing, right? Like a Me Too movement, where he was, okay, let's see here. We're going to meet with every senator that wants to meet with us across the board, and we welcome their advice as we go through the advice and consent process. Hegseth told reporters as he arrived for the second day of sit-downs with senators. All right, so he's meeting it head on. He's not shying away from it.
This is probably another wild goose chase, like Judge
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, just come on.
At a frat party 35 years ago.
Well, I kind of agree with Kennedy. I'm like, these anonymous sources. If you have proof and you have strong convictions, just come forward and talk about it.
This happens every time. Somebody comes out of the woodwork. Even the woman that sued Trump in a civil lawsuit and won $98 million.
Yeah. Did he ever pay that?
No, but they're still working it out. But I mean, she couldn't even substantiate key details, and nobody was a witness to it.
Well, he didn't get in trouble for that. He got in trouble for defaming her. So he said something about her that he got in trouble with. It wasn't about the sexual assault.
Oh, really?
He got dinged for defaming her. Something he said.
It's crazy. Yeah. How many people defamed him?
Oh, I know.
I mean, he could sue the shit out of they called him Hitler. I mean,
I know.
Can you get worse than that in terms of defaming?
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, Chinese crypto businessman eats his controversial $6.2 million banana art piece.
I love
this is stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's funny. He's mocking the stupidness of the whole thing.
Yeah, Chinese cryptocurrency businessman Justin Sun last week purchased a $6.2 million. It was a fucking banana taped to a wall, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And this is not the first time that the banana has been eaten, by the way. I mean, this one artist tapes a banana to the wall, and somebody else made a joke of it and ate the banana, and there was, I don't know if there was a lawsuit related to it, but the whole thing it's totally stupid. So, I don't know.
He can do whatever he wants with his money.
Oh, yeah.
He made it. He can spend it how he wants.
He's a billionaire, man. Have some fun with it. Shit, man, that's nothing.
That's stupid.
Let's see if there's a little.
He said that's what he was going to do. He was going to buy the banana and he was going to eat it. I mean, the artist is the guy that's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah, he got his $6.2 million.
I spent 47 cents on a banana and a strip of duct tape.
I'm almost thinking that this is kind of an inside deal. I mean, he's like, hey, look, I'm going to do this and we'll pay for it. We'll see what happens here.
Well, what if I tape an apple to a wall? Is that going to be a hit? Or has this run its course?
Or your penis.
Ooh.
He did it for a stunt.
You know what? They said the word comedian. I want to bring up something. So, did you guys know that there is a comedy club right there where it used to be the Martini? I think it used to be a Martini bar. Right there in Legacy East. Not West, but East. Like where the Benihana's is, down the street.
Oh, yeah, down that way?
Down the street from there. We had no idea there was a comedy club there. But I think I sent it out a text, remember, and I was like, hey, guys.
TK's?
No, that's Addison. This is actually this is in Plano.
At the
I don't-
Legacy East.
Legacy East, yeah. It's Mic Drop Comedy Plano. That's it, I think. Anyway, so what's really interesting about this is I had no idea it was even there, right? Because it used to be the Blue Martini Bar. And maybe that's the one. Anyway, Shelley and I went. I mean, we've been to improv before.
Yeah.
Which is very different, obviously, than, stand-up comedians. And it was...
Well, that's stand-up comedians.
Well, but it's not, they improv, right? I mean,
Well, the one time I went to the improv, they had a comedian come in and he just did his skit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
So what they did was they had 6 people that were warm-up people, like people
Right.
trying to make it, and then they had the headliner, right? And of the 6, 3 were funny, 4 had a couple good jokes. I mean, it makes you realize it's tough.
That's a tough gig.
It's a tough gig. I mean, if you're good at it, good for you.
I mean, you stand up there and you think that these are good jokes and no one bites at them. You're just like,
yeah,
wow.
They just kind of look at you. And so anyway, so it was interesting. And then the headliner came up, and she's somebody that has been around a while, and she writes Hollywood. She wrote for shows in Hollywood. I forgot what her name was. And she's actually married to
Rita Rudner.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No, you guys probably wouldn't recognize her.
Jay Leno.
But she was excellent. She was excellent. She really was. And it made the point of my story is that I think I want to keep doing this. Keep going to the comedy shows down in the place. And now there's a pretty high profile comedy one coming to downtown Frisco.
Well, we should go to downtown McKinney, hit the comedy club, the comedy arena.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
they have actually some cool things that you could participate in at the comedy arena in downtown McKinney. You can go there on like a Thursday night and you can actually participate. It's kind of like whose line is it anyways? Kind of thing.
Oh, wait a second. We've done that.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and I don't recall it.
It was a tiny little place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but it was fun.
Yeah, but it's perfect. But I've been to several comedy clubs. They're all fun. I mean, I have a good time.
I didn't even know about it until today, but there's one in Frisco, downtown Frisco.
It's open already?
Yeah. And they have a headliner tonight, as a matter of fact, who's actually performing probably as we speak. And she seems to be pretty high profile.
John Candy?
Yes. No, Jonah Candy.
Frisco improv players?
Nope, that's not it. It's in downtown Frisco, and it's that old movie theater that's like behind that Mexican mart where you can get the fajitas.
The Mexican grocery store.
Yes, it's right behind that, and it's an old movie theater, I guess from I don't know when, but
okay, so it's not. It doesn't show up.
That's weird. Yeah,
I guess it doesn't exist.
It does, because they have an event tonight that is a pretty high profile comedian.
The Derbyshire
Carrot Top.
Go to Eventbrite. It'll be on Eventbrite.
Well, we'll have to investigate. Did you know that the Sammy Hagar Van Halen thing's going to be up in WinStar?
Ooh, really?
Yeah. We should go. You should pull that up, see how much the tickets are. Because I know they were in August, and we balked at that because it's 305 degrees down there at Starplex.
Yeah.
And Sean about had a heart attack and stroke last year. But I'd go see them up there depending on what the price looks like. I don't know when it is. Lucas Oil Live WinStar.
February 21st, 2025.
February, yeah.
Tickets.
$46.
Yeah, section 407. Where's that at?
It's all the way at the top.
That's $400. You want the center. $200. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not paying that much for it.
Bring on our own little bladder.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got? So, Jeff, when are you taking off to Hawaii?
We leave for Hawaii Thursday.
First of all, walk us through the whole program. So, how is it that you came about this whole opportunity?
Last September of 23, my wife and her friend Andrea, they've run 10 marathons together, I think. They signed up for the Hawaii Marathon, and they got in. So last September, we planned this trip to Hawaii for this December. So I don't know, a year and 4 months out. So it's been paid for quite a while, which is nice. So I don't have to worry about that outside of food and shenanigans once we get over there. And we're going out.
It adds up quick, man.
Oh yeah, it does. And we leave Thursday, like at 11 or 10 or something like that in the morning. And she runs her race on Sunday. We'll be in Honolulu for a couple days, I guess 4 days. And then right after the race, we're going to hop on a plane and go to Maui. And we're going to be in Maui for 5 days or so.
Yeah, those little planes that go back and forth, they're almost like taxis.
Yeah, and they're the cheap flights. I mean, it's Hawaiian Air, I think. We already have the plane tickets. I had zero to do with the planning, which I kind of enjoyed. So I don't know what to expect. I've never been there. I've only seen what you see on TV and on the internet and shit. So I did ask about...
the women are going to a lot of La Bear shows.
Yeah, a lot of hula. I did ask, I was like, what would it take to go to see a luau? You know, do the most touristy thing over there. You know,
you got to do it.
The thing.
Yeah, you get a pig.
They're expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say a pig.
They're fucking expensive, man.
Banana leaves.
$300 a head
to see the dancers, the luau, and the water, the fire
guys,
eating dudes.
$300 a head.
$300 a person.
Oh,
that is ridiculous.
Yes, I was like, all right, I don't need this, and it's only back an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm just like in a buffet. So
I worked at the Four Seasons Resort in Las Colinas before, back when they used to have the Byron Nelson out there, and all the good golf players were actually alive and performed well without crashing into ditches and getting beat by golf clubs. But they, the sports club side, they had a luau. It was actually a pretty kick-ass event, and for the members there, and you got to see all the traditional stuff. They had the pig. They had everything. It was
the fire dancers and everything.
The fire dancers. They spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on this thing, and the members paid it because they they make more money than most people do.
Did they actually bury the pig in a big pit?
They dug a pit.
Banana
they put coals in there. They had the old banana leaves laid out there, and I was a food and beverage manager out there, so I wasn't in charge, of course, the cooking or anything, but it was more of the timing of things, and I got to work with the executive chefs. It was a lot of fun.
Did you get to eat some of the pig?
Yeah, I ate everything. We get to sample stuff because they make 2, 3 of everything.
I'd like to do that someday, roast a big pig like that, because those are delicious.
I would love that too. What would that entail?
A pig.
Yeah, you can buy pigs at H-E-B, as a matter of fact.
A whole pig.
Yeah.
They've already been like disemboweled.
They're suckling pigs. But yeah, you could buy a pig. It's probably, I don't know, 3 feet long.
And it's already prepped.
Yeah, you could buy some at you can go to Costco. Or not Costco, the Restaurant Depot.
But it's already prepped. Like it's been disemboweled and...
Yeah, they basically, it's just
It's ready to put on a spit.
Yeah, well, you basically, if it's a true luau, they put it in the ground.
Yeah, but we wouldn't do that.
Why not?
If we were to get together and do a pig, how would we do it?
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you? You just dig a hole.
Well, you can rent. My uncle did it once, and he rented a pig roasting thing. It was above the ground on a big rotisserie.
Yeah, that's what I think that would be more practical.
You can also.
Otherwise, really, we're digging a hole in our backyard.
Well, I've also seen people build temporary pits out of cinder blocks.
Right.
I've seen people do that as well. Anyway.
All right, well, look, we sampled this. I'm surprised the podcast went kind of pretty quick, though. But so, look, while Paul was out of town, conveniently, Paul was out gallivanting, hanging out with all the... he was with Tier,
I was probably at a wedding.
Oh, yeah. Look at me.
Was it the Royals?
What the hell? Diane. Oh, all right, look.
It was no, hold on. That is why we'll never do video. What his face right now, I'm out. I'm out on video.
So we got an invite. So Jackie Mack reached out to us. She was like, "Hey, you guys want to go to Ironwood? They're having their 10th anniversary, right?"
Right.
So we went out there and we got enrolled into their the lottery program. We didn't win shit, but it was an opportunity to go out there and swing dicks with the big boys. And we ended up buying a bottle, hung out with Chuck, Jeff, and I, just kind of like chilling. And we picked up the bottle of Iron Root Ichor, I think is what it said.
Ichor.
This one is hazmat. It's 140.2 proof.
Yeah.
It is. You can't slam this.
It kicks your dick pretty hard. This one, we had the Cowboy last week. This one is harder for me to drink than the Cowboy was.
Yeah, and the Cowboy was thick like mead.
Let me just say, we're pretty much at the end of this second podcast, and this is the most I've ever seen in all three of our glasses.
Yeah.
We definitely babied this one.
Yeah. So look, this thing, it's got a lot of flavor.
Oh, tons.
So this thing, right? Look at it.
It's extremely rich.
So, like the nose, it's tons. I mean, it's thick. It's raisins, caramel, maple syrup, and alcohol. and alcohol. This
It's
fucker
hot.
is jam packed, 140 proof. I mean, this thing
140. Just digest that.
Yeah,
140 proof. Is this the hottest we've ever had? No.
no, 144 is with the Ta.
That's the Ta was.
Wakahara.
Yeah.
That was excellent too, man. But that one didn't taste as hot as this one.
This one's hot. This one's kind of scratchy on the throat for me.
It didn't. When we had the small sample, it wasn't this caustic as a flavor. This one, it's not sitting well with me tonight. It's got that cardboard taste that I think Jackie Mack kind of referred to.
That was the rye that
just
you
roll
had.
with it.
Oh yeah, cardboard. Is that the double ply?
No,
4 millimeter.
I don't taste any cardboard. That's not in my list of things that I smell or taste.
No, it just when it gets rolled up on the back of that tongue, it's the finish. It's what is it? It's a moderate burn. It's the cocoa. It's got corn. It's the corn that just lingers in the background.
Dude, it got a burn. It has got a burn. No
Yeah,
question about
like
it.
I said, the Cowboy was 140.1. This is 140.2.
Cowboy didn't burn like this.
No, it didn't.
No,
it just
And
didn't.
the one thing the one note I wrote down here on the nose is I smelled cola, like Coke, like a cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
like cocoa.
no, cola, like a pop. I smelled that on the nose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
a
could-
combination of the raisin, I think, and there's a lot going on. There's a ton of flavors in there. That's why, folks, when you are drinking this type of hazmat stuff, you're not going to slam this. This is something you sip, okay?
No.
And I don't recommend. I mean, look, if you want to drop a couple drops of distilled water in there, there's
Sure.
there are things about, as much as I'd like to complain about it, there are things that when you add distilled water to it, it does open up extra flavors. Like this is jam packed with flavor. I mean, 140.2 proof. Yeah, it's got flavor in there, and sometimes you have to release it. I prefer to release it with my saliva, but you know what? You want to drop a small cube in there or a couple drops of distilled water, I recommend it.
Yeah,
It makes it a little bit more palatable, easier to drink.
Maybe next time we have this, we try it on a cube in a low ball.
I would agree with that.
I think, okay. I mean, that's
Because
definitely an option.
let's
Here's
try
why,
it.
because you made a good point. I mean, there are people that like hot foods, right? Spicy foods. But for the people that don't eat super spicy foods all the time, what do they always say? I have no idea what it tasted like because the burn overwhelmed everything.
Right.
And if you're drinking this and all you're getting is the overwhelming burn, then you're not enjoying it, right? So put a couple drops of water in there, let it mellow out, see where the taste comes from. Hell, when I was with my father-in-law just last weekend, he had never had anything over 115 proof, and he was reacting to this with those. Meaning, I was like, well, what are you getting out of it? Like, what do you...
It's too hot.
He was like, all I get is burn.
Right.
And I'm like, shit, man, okay, I get it, because it is an acquired taste, and it is a conditioning.
Yeah,
It's a
well, part of that
conditioning.
conditioning is there's the people that they're drinking cocktails, and that's the way they're consuming this. And this is when you drink a whiskey like this, that's not the way you consume it. With this, the best way, in my opinion, is have a snifter or a Glencairn, and you take very, very small tastes, and you back it with a little club soda or a beer back, whatever, and you just this is something you're going to sip for an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been sipping on this for an hour, and we all got half of it left.
Yeah.
You could also do
Well,
a
we've been talking
bourbon
a lot,
enema.
too.
I mean, you sent a thing out today, bourbon enema or coffee enema?
Coffee enema.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think also we ate a lot of pie in the halftime. I think that's kind of. I ate a lot of pie in the halftime.
I think this is good. It's not as good as the Cowboy.
No.
I think by far. It is. I don't know if I'd use caustic. It's just a harsher drink than.
I can think of a lot of other options in the one. What category are we putting it in? 130 to 140?
No, I think hazmat's by itself.
Yeah, that's hazmat.
And what proof is that?
140 and
130,
above.
140 plus? Well, shit, that's a very small group that we can compare to. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna go,
That's elite. It's by
hazmat.
itself.
I'm picking up a lot of raisin, a lot of plum
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's dark. It's angry. You got to thin it out. I mean, I don't want to, but you got to drink it really slow, and it's something you don't rush.
Well, I think as an experiment next time, I think we all kind of understood what it is this time. Maybe on the cube next time, maybe it's not going to bring it down to 100 or anything like that. But
I don't think I'm
No.
going to do a cube. I think we probably need to
couple
invest
drops.
in so I could get a distiller and one of those little droppers like they have.
we should have
No.
one of those up here.
We should.
Yeah, we should. That'd be a good idea.
Well, let's go ahead and rate this and close out.
I'm going to give this a 7.5.
In the hazmat group,
We gave the Cowboy a 9.
right? If we gave
I'm
the
gonna give-
Cowboy a 9 in this hazmat group, I would give this probably a 6-8.
I'm giving it an 8.
Wide range, which
Yeah.
is good, I think.
Yeah, I like the dark plum raisin cocoa flavor. I really do. It's something that I think that if you ingest it very, very slowly, it's got a wonderful taste. I think that if you take a little bit too much, it ruins the experience.
Yep.
You have to dip your tongue in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's barely you're barely taking anything in to get the flavor. Anyway,
All right. Anything you guys want before we sign out?
no, we're good.
No,
Yeah, we're going to be signed out till when?
taking a week
17th.
17th. So we got one more podcast before Christmas.
Because we're taking off next week, and then we're back on the 17th, and then the one after that is
Christmas
Christmas
time.
week.
Yeah. Second half, Dudes Like Us, December 3rd podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.